The secret life of tortoises, guardians of time. If the Earth could talk, it would probably tell us that some of its oldest and wisest residents move slower than anyone else, the tortoises. They are not just animals. They are living time capsules, carrying millions of years of history on their backs. So, grab your explorer's hat, because today we're going on a slow and steady adventure into the world of tortoises, creatures of patience, power, and quiet mystery. Chapter 1. The Great Turtle Debate. First, let's clear up one of nature's most common mix-ups. What exactly is a tortoise? People often use turtle and tortoise as if they mean the same thing. But here's the truth. All tortoises are turtles, but not all turtles are tortoises. The word turtle actually describes all members of the order Testudines, reptiles with shells. Tortoises belong to a special branch of that family called Testudinidae, and they are the land specialists. Turtles, by contrast, are mostly aquatic. They have sleek, flat shells to glide through the water and webbed feet or flippers for swimming. But tortoises? They're built for dry land, with high-domed, heavy shells and sturdy, elephant-like legs that lift them above rough terrain. Their shells aren't just armor, they're part of their skeleton. Underneath the hard plates are bones fused to the spine and ribs. That means a tortoise can't ever leave its shell. It is its shell. Chapter 2. Born of Ancient Earth. Tortoises are among the oldest living creatures on the planet. Fossils show that their ancestors existed over 55 million years ago, and their lineage stretches back to before the age of mammals. They survived mass extinctions, climate shifts, and even the fall of the dinosaurs. The reason? Adaptability and patience. While faster species perished, tortoises simply adjusted. They learned to conserve energy, store water, and live at nature's slow rhythm. Some ancient tortoises were giants, like Megalochilles atlas, which could reach nearly 8 feet long and weigh more than 2,000 pounds. Today, the largest species still alive is the Galapagos giant tortoise, which can weigh up to 900 pounds and live longer than most human civilizations. Chapter 3. Slow days under the sun. Tortoises are diurnal, meaning they prefer daylight. When morning sunlight warms the earth, they crawl from their burrows to bask, soaking up heat to raise their body temperature. Being cold-blooded reptiles, they rely on the sun instead of internal heat to stay active. In hot regions, like deserts, tortoises often dig deep burrows or find shady spots to avoid overheating. Some species, such as the African spurred tortoise, can dig tunnels over 30 feet long to escape the scorching sun. And yes, they're famously slow. Most walk at a pace of 0.2 to 0.5 miles per hour, though some, like the leopard tortoise, can sprint at a whopping 0.6 miles per hour when motivated. Speed isn't their strength, endurance is. Chapter 4. The Diet of a Gentle Giant. Most tortoises are strict herbivores. Their menus include grasses, flowers, fruits, and leafy greens. Some even enjoy cactus pads and succulents that help them stay hydrated in dry climates. A few species are omnivorous, nibbling on insects or worms when plant food is scarce. But even then, they eat slowly and deliberately, chewing with tough, beak-like mouths that crush food instead of biting like mammals. Tortoises are also clever eaters. On the Galapagos Islands, biologists discovered that tortoises living on islands with tall vegetation evolved long necks and upward curved shells so they could reach high plants. Meanwhile, those on islands with low-growing vegetation developed shorter necks and flatter shells. Evolution, slow and steady, shaped them perfectly for their homes. Chapter 5. Titans of Time. Here's something almost unbelievable. Tortoises can live well over 150 years. The oldest known living tortoise, Jonathan, was born around 1832, long before cars or electricity existed. As of 2025, he's 193 years old and still munching peacefully on the island of St. Helena. Another famous tortoise, Lonesome George, was the last of his subspecies from the Galapagos. He became a symbol of conservation when he passed away in 2012 at the age of 102. Tortoises live so long partly because their slow metabolism reduces cell damage. They experience life at a different speed, unhurried, deliberate, eternal. In a world obsessed with speed, they remind us that longevity comes from patience. Chapter 6. The Science of the Shell. A tortoise's shell is an engineering masterpiece. It's made of two parts: the carapace, top part, the plastron, bottom part. These parts are joined by a bony bridge and covered by hard scales called scuts. Beneath the scuts lies living bone, full of nerves and blood vessels, which means tortoises can feel through their shells. Inside, they also have an endoskeleton or internal skeleton. That's right. Tortoises have both an exoskeleton and an endoskeleton, giving them double protection. And how do they breathe under all that armor? Their lungs are cleverly attached to muscles near the shell, and they use their limbs to push air in and out. Imagine breathing by flexing your legs. Chapter 7: Super Senses and Secret Memories. Tortoises may move slowly, but their minds are surprisingly sharp. Scientists have discovered that they can remember the location of food, water, and shelters for over 18 months. They even recognize faces. Some pet tortoises can remember their owners after years apart. Their memory improves when they learn in groups, showing that even these solitary creatures benefit from social learning. When it comes to smell, tortoises don't rely only on their nostrils. They use a special sense organ called the vomeronasal or Jacobson's organ, located on the roof of the mouth. It allows them to taste the air and detect scents like snakes do, an evolutionary superpower. Chapter 8: A Role in the Web of Life. Tortoises might seem peaceful, but they are powerful ecosystem engineers. As they eat and move, they scatter seeds across large areas, helping new plants grow. Their droppings are tiny seed packets, spreading life wherever they go. In some deserts, tortoise burrows provide shelter for dozens of other animals: lizards, snakes, insects, and even small mammals. Without tortoises, entire ecosystems could collapse. Sadly, many species are now endangered. Habitat destruction, illegal pet trade, and hunting for their meat or shells have pushed them to the brink. But conservationists are fighting back. Breeding programs in the Galapagos, Africa, and Asia are slowly restoring tortoise populations. Chapter 9: Lessons from the Shell. If tortoises could talk, they'd probably say, "There's no need to hurry." In every culture, tortoises represent wisdom, stability, and perseverance. In ancient Africa, they symbolized creation and longevity. In Hindu mythology, the world itself rests on the back of a cosmic tortoise. Even today, tortoises teach us something modern life often forgets: that progress isn't always about speed. Sometimes it's about persistence, patience, and steady purpose. Chapter 10: A Creep of Companions. Fun fact: when a group of tortoises gathers together, it's called a creep because they move so slowly that they seem to creep along the earth. Imagine dozens of tortoises basking under a golden sunset, their shells glowing like ancient stones. They may not speak, but each one carries stories older than civilization itself. They are, in every sense, guardians of time, quiet witnesses to the rise and fall of worlds, still moving forward, inch by inch, toward tomorrow. Final thought: next time you see a tortoise, remember, behind that slow step lies a heartbeat that has outlasted empires. These gentle wanderers remind us that life's race isn't about speed. It's about endurance, memory, and balance with the world around us. So take a breath, slow down, be a little more like a tortoise, steady, wise, and endlessly alive.